Hi beautiful, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're gonna learn how to drape a cotton sari. Now I know when you're not pregnant, draping a cotton sari is pretty daunting, but I'm 7 months pregnant and I'm gonna try to show you my little tips and tricks on making sure that the cotton sari is draped nicely and form-fitting to your body, whether you're pregnant or not. So let's get started. As always, first things first, you want to iron your entire sari. This is especially important for starched cotton saris. Once you've ironed the entire sari, you want to start pleating the pallu, and then you're going to iron the pallu as well. And to learn how to pleat your pallu, you can refer to one of my videos, and I will link one for you here. It's super easy. You want to just make sure you're doing it over a flat, big surface. So I have my pallu pleats ready to go. I haven't ironed this. The cool thing with cotton is that if you start off by ironing, you can just literally press down with your fingers as you go, and you can kind of already see they look pressed. That's the cool thing about starting off with a nice, wrinkle-free sari. And I'm gonna try to do the same here. I'm gonna see how I like it and then determine if I'm going to iron it or not. So these are my chest pleats, and I'm just going to fan them out like I always do. And if you're pregnant, like me, I would say, instead of just taking the initial pleats that go on your chest, I would actually pin down or iron down or press down the pleats right up until around your body, so none of it is puffy. All right, so I'm happy with this fanned out. Obviously there's still some creases here, so I want it to look perfect, so I'm gonna go ahead and use the iron. But if you were more careful while pleating your sari and you don't have any wrinkles and you're cool with just pressing it down with your hands, even that looks pretty good. That's the cool thing with cotton. But I'm gonna go ahead and go over it with an iron. All right, so for my normal draping, I would say just pull it up a little bit and kind of guide the pleats. But what I'm gonna do here is actually go ahead and iron this down as well, just because I don't like it to be puffy around my belly. I feel like my belly is already, round enough that I don't want it to be puffy or beyond that. I want it to kind of drape over my belly beautifully. So I'm just gonna iron this part down as well. So take it down to where it would be, I would say around your hip. You'll notice that I didn't iron the front pleats. I like my front pleats to look organic, but I will link a video here where you can learn how to iron your front pleats. I feel like with cotton, if you just press it down with your hands, it's more than enough structure to give the pleats, especially the front pleats. But if you like a little bit more structure, you can definitely take the time to iron it. All right, so let's get started. And I'm just gonna go ahead and tuck in the sari while it's lightly grazing the floor, and then do my first round and tuck in as I go. And then once I get to the front and everything is neatly tucked in, you want to take the other end, or the pallu, and bring it around and drape it over your left shoulder. You'll notice that I've taken a shorter pallu than I normally do. And this is because obviously with pregnancy, there's more to be covered. And so the longer the pallu, the less, sari I'll have, and the less sari I'll have for pleats. So I made a very conscious decision to keep my pallu shorter than normal and keep some of that sari for super long or super voluminous front pleats. All right, so once you have this draped, you can just bring it around here, and you want to pull tight and kind of just tuck that in, and then you can start with your front pleats. So you have this loop, and you can start with your front pleats. Again, to maximize the number of pleats that I have, I'm going to take relatively narrow pleats and not super wide ones. These are all just little hacks to make sure that you have a lot of pleats and your drape looks as voluminous and as beautiful as possible. Okay, so mission accomplished. Normally I get about 6 pleats, and because I took super narrow pleats or smaller pleats, I have 7 pleats, which is definitely a win. So I'm gonna take these pleats and stagger them ever so slightly. And then once I'm happy with the staggering, I'm gonna pin them together and tuck it in. And here you can take this time to kind of just like press them down if you don't want it to be super puffy at the top. I like that puffiness at the bottom. I think that's one of the most beautiful aspects of wearing and draping a cotton sari. But if you don't want it to be puffy, you can go ahead and take the time to kind of press it down with your hands or with an iron. All right, so my hip pleats are kind of already formed here, and I can accentuate them by kind of just pulling on the fabric and making a little twist here and tucking it in. And then this part of the sari, I'm just gonna fold forward and tuck it in. And the bottom part of my drape is pretty much done. Once you've fixed the bottom part of your drape, you just wanna pull the pallu tight and fan it out and fix up the drape so that you're happy with it. And then you can also add a waist chain if you'd like to kind of cinch it all in. Now the bottom pleats, I've kind of just pressed it down with my hands, but you can go ahead and iron it or just leave it as is. Just depends on your preference for how puffy or not puffy you'd like your bottom pleats. And this is with the waist chain on. It makes such a huge difference because it really pulls together all the pleats and it gives your drape a little bit more structure. So I hope you try out some of these tips and tricks and drape your own cotton sari. They're really not that intimidating once you get the little hacks that you can do to make them look the way you'd like. If you have any tips to add, leave them in the comment box below. I always love hearing from you guys, and I will see you in a future video.